The silent formula. Deep work meets atomic habits. In a world obsessed with productivity, most people never actually produce anything that matters. They're busy, but not effective, connected, but distracted, ambitious, but scattered. We scroll, we switch, we multitask, and yet the deeper part of us longs for focus, mastery, and meaning. Two books, written for this distracted generation, hold the missing blueprint. Cal Newport's Deep Work teaches us how to create value through focus. James Clear's Atomic Habits shows us how to build that focus through consistency. One is about intensity, the other about continuity. And between them lies a quiet formula for transformation, a way to live, think, and create that few people ever master. Part 1. The Age of Shallow Work. Let's be honest, we live in an age of noise. Our phones buzz more than our thoughts. We mistake motion for progress and notifications for achievements. Cal Newport calls this the shallow work trap, the endless cycle of reactive tasks that keep you busy but replaceable. Emails, messages, low-impact to-do lists. They make us feel productive, but they drain our attention. He says, if you can't learn to concentrate, you'll never master anything. That's the heart of deep work, the discipline of uninterrupted concentration on cognitively demanding tasks. It's not about working longer, but diving deeper. Because value today isn't created by those who know a lot, but by those who can focus without distraction. But here's the problem. Deep work demands intensity, and intensity fades. You can't rely on motivation alone. You need structure. That's where James Clear enters. Part 2. The Power of the Small. Atomic Habits begins with a quiet truth. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. James Clear understood what many productivity gurus missed, that transformation isn't one giant leap, but thousands of micro-steps repeated with precision. He shows us that habits compound like interest. 1% better each day doesn't feel like much, until you realize that after a year, that's a 37x improvement. In his world, identity and action are linked. Don't focus on what you want. Focus on who you are becoming. A person who writes every day eventually becomes a writer. A person who reads deeply eventually becomes wise. Habits are the invisible architecture of your destiny. But habits without depth become routines, and depth without habits becomes burnout. To build a meaningful life, we need both, the structure of habit and the spirit of depth. Part 3. The Collision Zone. This is where the philosophies collide. Deep work says, focus like a monk. Atomic Habits says, build systems like an engineer. Newport warns us that distraction destroys creativity. Clear reminds us that discipline is built on small, repeatable actions. Together, they form a loop.
Deep work requires habits to sustain it. Habits require depth to give them purpose. Without habits, deep work fades into bursts of burnout. Without deep work, habits become mindless rituals. But when you fuse them, you create something powerful. Sustained excellence. It's the combination of focus and automation. intention, and systemization. Like breathing, one inhale of purpose, one exhale of consistency. The person who learns to blend both becomes unstoppable. Part 4. The synthesis. Let's call it the silent formula, because true growth doesn't shout, it compounds quietly. From Newport, take the principle of depth before breadth. Schedule focused blocks of time where you go all in. No multitasking, no scrolling, no noise. Your brain is a muscle. It strengthens through deliberate attention. From James Clear, take the habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. Design your environment to make deep work automatic. Turn focus into a ritual, not a rare event. Morning coffee becomes your cue. The desk becomes your temple. The silence becomes your weapon. Deep work is the what. Atomic habits is the how. And when you combine them, you create a life where excellence is inevitable. Part 5. The takeaway. Most people wait for clarity before starting. Masters start, and clarity follows, because the path is revealed by motion, not motivation. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need 1 hour of focus repeated every day. That's how books are written, businesses are built, and minds are transformed. Not through grand bursts of inspiration, but through the quiet repetition of meaningful work. Remember this. Every time you sit down to focus, you are training your mind to resist chaos. Every small habit you repeat is a vote for the person you're becoming. And when those two meet, discipline and depth, you don't just become productive, you become inevitable. Because success isn't found in noise. It's found in silence, in the invisible hours, in the moments no one else sees. That's the true power of deep work meets atomic habits. Focus deeply, act consistently, build quietly, and watch your life compound. If this fusion sparked something inside you, a hunger to think deeper, to build better, then you're already part of a rare kind of tribe. A tribe that believes mastery is built in silence, that greatness doesn't shout, it emerges. Welcome to Maven Mindset Lab, where science meets philosophy and wisdom becomes a system. Subscribe, stay curious, and keep building your inner lab, because the masterpiece of your life starts with one focused habit at a time.